On the first day with my wealthy biological parents, I was so excited that tears welled up in my eyes. Who would have thought that the very next second my biological mother would put a bank card in front of me with a cold expression and say, 1 million a month. You don't have to truly treat me as your mother, but in front of outsiders you'd better act the part. Everyone thought I would definitely throw the card on the ground and cry while accusing my mother of being heartless, but instead, I became even more excited and immediately dropped to my knees, saying, Mom, no, boss, just watch me handle it. She frowned and added, we brought you back this time to arrange a marriage alliance for you. The partner is some used up, damaged goods. Yet after hearing this, not only did I not get angry, I became even more energized. I suddenly stood up, my face filled with righteous indignation, and said, this is a big job, you'll have to pay extra. Later, my fiancé said to me with red eyes, I'm sorry, I'm not a good woman, but I simply smiled and replied, what a coincidence. I'm not after the person, I'm after the money. Chapter 1. The first day back at the Wong family, my biological mother, Rosie, placed a bank card in front of me. I need to verify the card. That was my first reaction. I took out my phone, entered the card number and password, checked the balance, and tapped a few times on the screen. No problem with the card. Then I tried to look calm, but the corners of my mouth refused to cooperate. Rosie frowned and said, 1 million a month. Just act properly outside and don't embarrass me. I swiftly dropped to my knees and replied, boss, don't worry, just watch me. A mess. Rosie, the mother I had only just reunited with, clearly hadn't expected such a scene. Get up, don't talk nonsense, she said. You don't have to truly treat me as your mother, but you still need to call me Mom. All right, Mom, whatever you say. I stood up neatly. My knees hurt a little, the marble floor was pretty hard, but the smile on my face never faded. 12 million a year. Forget acting like a loving mother and filial son. If she asked me to bark like a dog right here, I'd howl louder than anyone else. Chapter 2. Rosie leaned against the sofa. Let's get the ugly truth out first, she said. Your younger brother Makoto is an obedient child. To the outside world, you two are brothers, you're the older one. He's the younger. At home, he is my son, and the heir of the Wong family. You'd better remember your place. Right. My name is George, and my younger brother is Makoto. I stood straight as a pole, practically one salute away from standing at attention. Don't worry. As long as the money's there. Makoto, no. Young Master Wong is my big brother. I know my place. I'll be young Master Wong's loyal sidekick and serve him properly. At that moment, a young man quietly walked down from the second floor of the villa. That was my biological younger brother, Makoto. Makoto looked me up and down, undisguised contempt on his face. So this is my long-lost brother. What are you even wearing? Ugh, tacky. I looked down at myself. Yeah, it was cheap street market stuff. Not great, but at least my butt wasn't hanging out. According to the usual plot of novels and short dramas, this would be the moment when I should bravely talk back and deliver a clever counterattack. After a fierce verbal battle full of wit and courage, I would defend my dignity and successfully earn the admiration of the Wong family. But am I that kind of person? The bank card in my pocket hasn't even warmed up yet. Young master, sharp eyes, I said with a flattering grin, bringing out the same sincerity I once used when persuading dancing aunties in the plaza to buy health supplements. Young master, your judgment is spot on. I grew up in the countryside, chasing pigs today, herding chickens tomorrow. Of course I'm tacky. As for this whole older brother thing, that's only for outsiders. From now on, you're my big brother. I'm counting on you to let me enjoy the good life. Young master, I've just arrived. Please take care of me. Yes, my cowardice was executed perfectly. My barrage of flattery left Makoto frozen in place, mouth open, unable to squeeze out a single word for quite a while. Just as I was about to keep the momentum going and pledge even more loyalty while the iron was hot, Rosie spoke. Enough. As long as everything's clear, let's eat. Chapter 3. As expected of a wealthy family, lunch was extremely lavish. While I was stuffing my face with my bowl and chopsticks in hand, a middle-aged man walked into the dining room. This man was my biological father, Simon. So this is the one who came back from the countryside. He took off his coat and sat down. When he saw the way I was eating, he frowned. No manners. I couldn't be bothered to respond. Anyone who has worked like a corporate workhorse knows that part of your salary is basically compensation for swallowing your pride. This humiliation was part of the job. Simon sat down, drank a few glasses of wine, and when he saw me still devouring the food, he glared again and scolded. Look at yourself. Since you're back, you'd better follow the Wong family's rules. Don't go out there embarrassing the Wong family. I calmly kept chewing on the lobster, quietly rolled my eyes, and continued ignoring him. Seeing that I didn't respond, Simon assumed I was intimidated and became even more arrogant. He swirled the red wine in his glass and said, Come to think of it, this brat is lucky. Got lost when he was little, and now that he's back, he can conveniently handle that situation. That Liu family is really unlucky. When rats give birth, each generation is worse than the last. That family is basically a pit of fire. If our Wang family weren't considering the business side of things, who would even bother dealing with the Liu family? It's disgusting. Perfect timing. A tacky country bumpkin matched with trash, just the right lid for the right pot. A perfect match. My biological father Simon spoke in a mocking, sarcastic tone while looking at me. Meanwhile, I chewed on abalone while thinking quickly, what exactly was this old man's problem? Where did all this hostility toward me come from? My mother putting pressure on me, that's to set rules and prevent me from getting any unrealistic ideas. My younger brother being hostile, that's because he's worried I might threaten his position as the eldest young master of the Wang family. Perfectly understandable. But Simon, this so-called father of mine, we're basically connected by nothing more than a single sperm cell. Do we even know each other? Yet the old man kept going, getting more and more worked up. Speaking of my father, he actually married into the family. So the three of us, Mom, my brother, and I, carry the Wang surname, while he's law. Thinking about it that way, with a strong-willed wife and a grown son in this household, Simon Law's position is easy to imagine. Oh, so the old guy is trying to find some parental authority and dignity by picking on me. But here's the real question. My $1 million a month salary includes tolerating my mother and my brother's bad tempers. But does it include tolerating my mother's husband's nonsense? I glanced at my mother, Rosie. At that moment, her face was expressionless, but her eyes were ice cold. Got it. Chapter 4. I stood up and flashed my father Simon a bright smile. Then I picked up a wine glass and smashed it straight into the plate in front of him. Food, sauce and wine splashed all over Simon. He froze for a moment, then pointed at me and roared, "Have you lost your mind? Are you rebelling against me?" I shouted back immediately, even louder than he was, "Dad, have you had too much to drink? You're talking nonsense. Who is the Liu family?" Even I, someone who just came back, know that the Liu family and the Wang family have been close business partners for many years. And yet you're insulting and slandering them here. What if word gets out and damages the relationship between the two families? What if the Liu family withdraws their investment? You're digging up the very foundation of the Wang family. Simon was suddenly burdened with such a huge accusation that he could barely catch his breath. Why you? That's bullshit. I'm just saying a few things at home. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Walls have ears, I said with a solemn expression. You may be my father, but you're also a son-in-law who married into the Wang family. To put it bluntly, I'm just the tacky country bumpkin the Wang family brought back from the countryside. And you're nothing more than a simp being kept by the Wang family. We both live off the Wang family's wealth, but you can't eat their food while smashing their pot. Who gave you the nerve? Those few sentences hit Simon right where it hurt. He trembled with anger, unable to say a word. Enough. My mother Rosie's voice rang out at the perfect moment. Looks like everyone's finished eating. Let's call it a day. George, come with me. Chapter 5. After lunch, in the study. You're very clever, Rosie said to me. Thank you for the compliment, Mom. I stood obediently with my hands folded. Do you know why we brought you back? I smiled. Surely it's not because blood is thicker than water and you've been longing for your long-lost son. My mother Rosie smiled too, but her smile was full of mockery. The Wang family and the Liu family are arranging a marriage alliance. The Liu family's daughter, well, she's basically used goods, although the girl does have some ability. Damaged goods are still damaged goods. She's not worthy of entering the Wang family. So this marriage will be yours. You'll marry into the Liu family as their son-in-law. Oh, of course there's no such thing as free money falling from the sky. So this is where the catch was. In simple terms, the Wang family and the Liu family need a political marriage alliance. But my mother Rosie dislikes the Liu girl for 2 reasons. First, she thinks the girl is dirty. Second, she doesn't want a capable and strong daughter-in-law around to get in her way. However, the business partnership between the Wang and Liu families must continue. So they simply decided to generously send one of their sons away. And that son is me. A wealthy family marriage alliance. A substitute groom. A fiancé with questionable reputation. Damn, this is a big job. You'll have to pay extra, I said firmly, without hesitation. Rosie was clearly taken aback for a moment. Then she laughed again. This time, the smile looked much more genuine. Deal. Rosie took out a new bank card and pushed it toward me. There's 30 million here as an advance. From now on, you'll also receive an extra 500,000 each month as psychological compensation. As long as you can keep the Liu family satisfied, I'll personally decide that you get 20% of the Wang family's assets. I took the card with both hands and slipped it into my pocket. All right then, Mom, don't worry. No matter what condition that Miss Liu is in, I'll polish the situation until it shines. Good. The meeting is scheduled for tomorrow. Go prepare yourself. Understood. Chapter 6. Willow, the eldest daughter of the Liu family, my arranged marriage partner. I met her in a private club. Amid the blaring music, this so-called young lady of legend was sitting among a group of monsters and demons, and I mean that quite literally. The private room was filled with cosplayers, all wearing costumes with wings, tails, horns, and other bizarre accessories. As for Willow herself, she was dressed in men's clothing. Her hair was streaked with white, green, and red, bright, chaotic colors that immediately caught the eye. Bold, rebellious. That was my first impression of Willow. At the moment, she was sprawled on the sofa, a cigarette between the fingers of one hand and a glass of alcohol in the other, her face full of impatience. "Oh, so you're that tacky guy the Wang family brought back. I heard you raised pigs in the countryside. What's this? Did the Wang family send a pig farmer over to fatten me up like livestock?" The men and women, demons, beasts, and assorted creatures in the room burst into laughter. I calmly shrugged, poured myself a drink, and casually sat down. Miss Liu must be joking. Raising pigs isn't easy work. Feeding them, preventing disease, waking up before dawn and working till night, it takes strength and skill. Taking care of you, on the other hand, should be much easier as long as the money is sufficient. You've probably heard, tacky people are the most obedient. Willow looked a little surprised. She probably hadn't expected me to be so straightforward. Her interest was clearly piqued. She sat up straight, about to speak, when the door to the private room was suddenly pushed open. A man and a woman rushed in. "Willow," the woman called out first. Then the men continued. "Are you really going to marry some tacky country bumpkin?" Willow's face instantly darkened. Well, looks like I guessed the right answer. This is a question I know how to solve. Before coming here, I had carefully studied Willow's background. The two people who just barged into the room, the woman was Willow's best friend. The man was Willow's first love. They had grown up together, and this guy could practically be called Willow's Prince Charming. But a month ago, those two ended up sleeping together, and Willow caught them in the act. Just like the most cliché plot in a romance novel, Willow was betrayed at the same time by her lover and her best friend. After that, Willow finally agreed to the marriage alliance between the Wang and Liu families. When those two heard that Willow was about to marry someone else, they realized their financial backing might disappear. So now they had come running to beg for forgiveness. Before Willow could even respond, the two of them turned directly toward me. "You're that countryside guy, right? You're just here for the money anyway. Here's 5 million, take it and go back to the countryside." 5 million? Who do they think they're insulting? If they had offered 500 million, I might honestly have lost my composure and seriously considered it. But such a tiny amount? Honestly, it just left me speechless. I stepped forward and positioned myself in front of Willow. "Please mind your words," I said, "and more importantly, mind your identities. I am George Wang, currently Miss Liu's fiancé, the marriage partner officially recognized by the heads of the Wang and Liu families. You barge in here and start throwing money at me to make me leave. Are you looking down on the Liu family, looking down on the Wang family, or insulting my professional ethics?" My rapid-fire rebuttal left Willow's ex-boyfriend and her best friend momentarily stunned. "What professional ethics?" they asked. I cleared my throat and continued. "Taking care of and protecting Miss Liu will be my job from now on. Right now, my sponsor, my fiancé, is drinking to relax." You barged in yelling and screaming, crying and making a scene, even trying to throw money around to chase people away. You're seriously destroying my working environment. You too, are you questioning the Wang and Liu families, or are you insulting Miss Liu herself? The ex-boyfriend's face turned pale with anger. "You tacky guy, how could you possibly be worthy of Willow? Willow and I grew up together. We've had a deep relationship for years." "A deep relationship?" I chuckled. "Deep enough to sleep with her best friend? I'm honestly curious how you even have the nerve to come here and make a scene." I glanced back at Willow. The girl was watching the drama with great interest, clearly enjoying the show, with absolutely no intention of stepping in. Sighing helplessly, I turned back and continued my full-on attack. "The mess between the two of you, I don't care. Whatever history you had with Miss Liu before, I don't want to ask about it either. But if you think you can come back and rekindle things now, not a chance. Miss Liu already belongs to someone now. The grass has an owner, and that owner is me. No one else is touching her." My forceful declaration of ownership stunned the two people opposite me for a moment, but after a brief silence, they suddenly put on pitiful expressions, clearly planning to bypass me and start crying to Willow directly. "Enough." Willow finally spoke. "Have you made enough of a scene? If you're done, get out." Willow's ex and her best friend stared at her in disbelief. "What did you say? For this tacky guy you, out. Someone, throw them out." Willow directly ordered them to be removed. After the two were taken outside, Willow scanned the private room. "I'm tired. Everyone can leave. You, George, stay." Chapter 7. Soon, Only Willow and I were left in the private room. Willow looked at me with a half smile and said, "You were pretty sharp-tongued just now. What kind of reward do you want?" Ah, this is my favorite part. I immediately took out my phone, opened my payment QR code, and presented it with both hands. "Miss Lou, that little defense battle against the cheating ex-boyfriend and the fake best friend backstabber just now was high-risk work. I deserve a hazard bonus. Given Miss Lou's generosity, surely you wouldn't feel embarrassed about giving a little token of appreciation." Willow raised an eyebrow. "Why are you so crude? Is money the only thing you care about? Is caring about money a bad thing?" I raised an eyebrow right back. Compared to people who talk endlessly about true love while secretly scheming in their hearts, someone who admits they're after money is the cleanest of all. Willow froze for a moment. Then she suddenly burst out laughing, slapping the sofa. "George, you're really something else. Come on, I'll take you out for some fun." That afternoon, I didn't actually receive my hazard bonus. Instead, Willow dragged me to several luxury shopping malls and bought me several high-end outfits from head to toe, along with a few expensive watches. She even purchased a luxury car on the spot. As someone from the countryside, I couldn't even estimate the value of those luxury goods, but they were definitely worth a ridiculous amount of money. So that evening, wearing the designer clothes Willow bought me and driving the luxury car Willow bought for me, I took Willow herself to the restaurant she had chosen. It was the kind of Western restaurant where everything looks fancy, costs a fortune, and still doesn't fill you up. While I struggled with a knife and fork, battling a half-raw steak, Willow's phone rang. She glanced at it and immediately hung up. Then the phone rang again. Willow frowned and put it on silent. I said, "Those two from earlier again. Just answer it." Willow glanced up at me. "What? You're not jealous?" "Why would I be jealous? Don't men usually care about that sort of thing?" I chuckled and waved a finger. No, Miss Lou, I'm here to work, not to fall in love. Being your husband is my job position, not my identity. As long as the salary is paid on time and the benefits are good, and if there are some extra bonuses, then forget a second boss. Even if there's a third guy, a fourth, or a fifth, I'd happily serve them all with a smile. In this regard, please trust my professional ethics. Willow stared at me strangely. "George, do you really love money that much?" I stopped wrestling with the steak and said solemnly, "Of course, Miss Lou. Ours is a purely financial relationship. You're the boss, I'm the workhorse. Between us, money is the only thing worth discussing. With this marriage alliance, you can give the Lou family an explanation, keep the Wong family stable, and slap your cheating ex-boyfriend and fake best friend in the face. This deal is simple. You pay for peace of mind, and I take the money and get the job done. As for me personally, I'm not after you, not after your heart, and not after the Lou family's business. I'm only after the money. That's what you call professionalism." Willow stared at me for a very long time. Then she picked up her phone and handed it to her personal assistant. "Delete all contact information related to those two people. From now on, they are not to appear in front of me again." After saying that, Willow raised her wine glass, a faint smile curling on her lips. Suddenly, I think this marriage might actually be interesting. I clinked my glass lightly against hers and drank it down in one gulp. Pleasure doing business. Great. The big contract is secured. This wine has real strength to it. It tastes like pure money. Chapter 8. That night when I returned home, I dumped all the shopping bags right in the middle of the living room and immediately began searching online for information about the items. Once I roughly estimated their value, I started thinking about how to turn this pile of luxury goods into cash. Just then, my bargain bin younger brother, Makoto, walked into the living room. Makoto stared straight at the pile of designer watches, clothes, and car keys. My eyes lit up and I asked, "Young master, interested? Just bought this afternoon, 99% new, practically fresh out of the box. The estimated value is over 8 million. I'll give you a discount, 6 million, and they're all yours. What do you think?" Yes, I genuinely wanted to sell these luxury goods to Makoto. Sure, these things are nice, but for a countryside tacky guy like me, they're basically just golden dog chains and diamond-studded collars. Completely useless. Much better to turn them into cash. Rule number 1 for surviving in a wealthy family. Meat only belongs to you once it's in your stomach. Makoto rolled his eyes at me, snorted through his nose, and walked away without another word. I felt a little disappointed. With no other choice, I could only list the items online and sell them slowly. Sigh. Chapter 9. A few days later, Willow took me to a cocktail party. The event was extremely high-end. How high-end? A team of 4 people surrounded me the entire time. 2 were responsible for my styling. 1 handled the clothing, and another was specifically assigned to teach me posture and etiquette. After they finished fixing me up, I actually looked surprisingly decent, almost like a refined scoundrel. As for Willow, she appeared in an exquisite evening gown. Honestly, Once she dressed up properly, the girl did have a certain charm. Willow hooked her arm through mine and whispered softly in my ear, "So, what happened to the things I bought for you?" My heart skipped a beat. I forced an awkward smile. "They're great, very valuable." Suddenly, a sharp pain tightened at my waist. I looked down and saw Willow's dangerously long manicure digging into my side. "Kid, if you ever dare sell something I gave you again, I'll have you neutered." The tacky guy dared not speak. Fortunately, Willow didn't dwell on the matter. We walked into the banquet hall together. "Nervous?" she asked, tilting her head toward me. "Nervous?" I almost laughed. Back in the day, just to make a little money from street stalls, I used to play cat and mouse with city inspectors every day at train stations and night markets. You had to be bold, careful, and thick-skinned. This place only has a few people. They're just dressed up nicely. That's all. What's there to be nervous about? Willow laughed so hard her whole body trembled. "Nice, George. That carefree, doesn't give a damn attitude of yours, I like it." Chapter 10. However, something unexpected happened. My father Simon and my younger brother Makoto also showed up at the cocktail party. Well, better keep my distance. No need to look for trouble and increase my workload. I was just about to pull Willow away when I noticed Simon and Makoto surrounding a middle-aged man and whispering to him. That middle-aged man looked familiar. His surname was Ning. I remembered him from the background information I had studied earlier. He was a key figure in a major business project. More importantly, Willow was currently trying to win him over for that project. Quietly, we stepped a little closer. "Mr. Ning, you should think this over carefully," Simon was saying. "As the saying goes, no hair on your lips, so nothing you do is reliable. That girl from the Liu family is rotten to the core. How could she possibly handle something this important? How could you entrust your project to her?" Mr. Ning's expression showed hesitation. Simon immediately pressed the advantage. "How about this? Why don't we cooperate instead? I'll handle the connections, and my son Makoto will take charge of the actual execution. With the Wang family involved, you'll have nothing to worry about." Hearing this, Willow's face darkened, and she was about to step forward. I grabbed her arm. "Relax, you don't need to go," I said with a shrug. "Did you forget? You're the boss. I'm the one who does the work." Then I strode forward. "Dad, what are you doing here?" My shout immediately drew the attention of half the banquet hall. When Simon saw that it was me, his face turned black. "Why are you shouting? No manners." I stepped directly between Mr. Ning and Simon, wearing a wide, exaggerated grin as I continued yelling at Simon. "Dad, usually all you do is drink tea and play cards. Since when have you ever handled company business? My mom has said it more than once, don't interfere with company matters. Don't interfere. Don't interfere. You can't even keep track of the servants' salaries at home. What do you know about business projects? Why are you pretending to be some big shot here?" Low laughter spread through the surrounding crowd. "You little bastard. What nonsense are you talking about?" Simon sputtered with rage. I stuffed a glass of wine into his hand. "Dad, have a drink and calm down. If something happens to you, my mom will have to pay your medical bills." Then I turned to Mr. Ning, instantly replacing my expression with sincere politeness. "Mr. Ning, please forgive the embarrassment. To be honest, the men of the Wang family are somewhat lacking. But Miss Willow Liu, her capabilities are well known in our circle. She has the Liu family behind her and the support of my mother. Rosie, you're a leader in the business world. In the end, business is like a battlefield. It's real capital that decides everything." Behind me, Simon's lips trembled as he shouted. "Shut up, George, you ungrateful brat. Are you trying to rebel?" Mr. Ning was a shrewd man. He glanced around at everyone present, a faintly amused smile on his face, and then walked straight toward Willow, who stood not far away. "The young man makes a good point. Miss Liu, let's finalize the contract details another day and sign it." I calmly returned to Willow's side, completely ignoring Simon's furious curses and Makoto's venomous glare. Willow looked me up and down, then took my hand. "Come on," she said. "Let's go somewhere." Before the cocktail party even ended, we left the venue together. Chapter 11. By the riverside. The wind was a little strong. Willow, wearing her off-shoulder evening gown, was clearly feeling the cold. I took off my suit jacket and draped it over her shoulders. "Why did you help me just now?" she asked while looking at the river, without turning back. "That's a strange question," I said, somewhat puzzled. "I'm paid to do a job. You're my boss. Protecting your interests is part of my duties. If your business collapses, who am I supposed to rely on for my salary? Since I was little, no one has ever defended me like that," Willow said softly. "Especially when it comes to business. My parents died early. My grandfather is very strict with me. If I'm not outstanding enough, then I'm nothing more than a tool for a marriage alliance. Over the years, I've turned myself into someone like a man. I built a reputation for myself in the business world. I don't care what people say about me. I just can't afford to lose." Growing up, only those two people ever spoke to me sincerely. I never thought those two would also. Oh, those two were Willow's cheating ex-boyfriend and her backstabbing best friend. So that's the trouble rich people have. When you think about it, they lack nothing except love. I clicked my tongue, walked over, and ruffled her hair. Willow, don't you think you're being a little ridiculous? She froze and looked up at me. In this world, there's no such thing as eternal feelings or eternal love. Real, tangible benefits are the only things that are truly reliable. Whoever treats you well, you treat them well. Whoever treats you badly, kick them out of your life. You're the eldest daughter of the Liu family, with enormous resources and wealth, and you're still getting sentimental about this. I pointed at myself. Look at me. I struggled around the countryside for years, finally found my biological parents, and the moment I came back I was told to marry someone on behalf of someone else. Did I complain? Because I know very clearly that only when I have money can I live like a proper human being. I patted Willow on the shoulder. So stop sighing about it. Everything you have now is your confidence. There are plenty of people lining up to love you. Look at me, I'm already here, aren't I? Willow stared at me for a long time. Then suddenly she laughed. George, you're really obsessed with money. I shrugged. No point denying it. Nothing to be embarrassed about. After Willow had calmed down, I went to get the car ready so we could leave. I sat in the driver's seat and parked by the roadside. But Willow didn't get into the car. Instead, she walked around the vehicle, opened the driver's door, and leaned inside. In the cramped driver's seat, Willow's delicate face was very, very close to mine, so close that we could feel each other's breath. With her slender hands, she gently held my face. I will always have money, she said. I promise. George, I want you to keep working for me forever. Then her soft lips lightly pressed against my forehead. After that, she swung her long legs over the seat and settled directly into the passenger seat. Tacky, drive. But I remained motionless, holding the steering wheel. After thinking for a long moment, I looked at Willow and said, Boss, we're not married yet. According to proper work procedures, I haven't reached the stage where I sell my body. So that kiss just now, you'll have to pay extra. Ugh, you hopeless money addict. Chapter 12. 1 month later, Willow and I held our wedding as planned. The entire ceremony could be described as extremely simple, which made sense. A notorious young heiress and a tacky live-in son-in-law from the countryside. The wedding was so simple it was almost just a formality. The guests were merely relatives and acquaintances from the Wang and Liu families. Willow and I didn't care. And if we didn't care, who else would? The only thing worth mentioning was that on the wedding night, Willow and I slept in separate rooms, which was perfectly normal. I was here to work, not to actually become someone's husband. I understood my position very clearly. After the wedding, I gradually adapted to my new life. Just when I thought things would continue peacefully, something happened to the Wang family. My father Simon and my younger brother Makoto had teamed up and invested a huge amount of the Wang family's liquid funds into some so-called cutting-edge tech project. The result? The project owners ran away with the money. At the same time, a batch of projects under the Wang group reached settlement deadlines. The Wang family's cash flow collapsed immediately. That evening, the 3 members of the Wang family sat neatly in the living room of the Liu family's villa. Simon looked exhausted. Makoto lowered his head, trying to make himself as inconspicuous as possible. Even my mother Rosie didn't look well. Simon ignored me entirely and spoke to Willow with a flattering expression. Willow, this time I misjudged things and suffered a loss. Right now the Liu family has plenty of liquidity. Since you're the eldest daughter of the Liu family, could you inject 1 billion into the Wang family? Willow glanced at me and said calmly, for something this important, I'll listen to George. After all, he's my husband. Nice. She kicked the ball straight to me. 3 pairs of eyes instantly locked onto me. Out of respect for my job, I had to take the pass. We're not investing the money. Simon froze. What? What did you say? I said we're not investing. I took an elegant sip of tea and continued. In the entire Wang family, aside from my mother, you and Makoto are bottomless pits. Willow's money is part of our marital assets. Using my money to fill the hole you two dug. I don't agree. Simon exploded in anger. You ungrateful bastard. If it weren't for the Wang family, you'd still be feeding pigs in the countryside. Stop saying useless things. I replied coldly. You know exactly why you brought me back. You paid me, and I did the job. Now you want Willow to pay for your mess. Keep dreaming. At that moment, my mother Rosie, who had been silent the entire time, sighed. George, is there really no other way? I looked at the woman who had given birth to me. Inside, there was no expectation, no emotion. Mom, when you brought me back, there were 3 purposes. First, to play the role of a filial son. Second, to marry into the Liu family. Third, to stabilize the relationship between the Wang and Liu families. I've done all of that, but now you want the Liu family to bleed heavily just to patch the Wang family's hole. That job, I'm not taking it. Simon went completely mad with rage. He suddenly stood up, ready to lash out, but Willow reacted faster. With a wave of her hand, the Liu family's bodyguards immediately stepped in, surrounding and protecting us. Someone, Willow said calmly, show them out. That night, the 3 members of the Wang family were thrown out. Chapter 13. After the Wang family left, the matter didn't end there. Within a few days, a storm erupted. Cold-blooded rich heir drives his own father to death, refuses to save family business. Inside, the rise of the Liu family's live-in son-in-law, eating the Wang family's food while smashing their pot, exposing the scandalous romantic history of the Liu family's eldest daughter. Similar articles flooded the internet, and public opinion exploded overnight. No need to guess, the Wang family had made their move. They had even teamed up with Willow's cheating ex-boyfriend and her backstabbing best friend to stir up chaos. The entire internet cursed me as an ungrateful traitor, a parasite, saying I didn't deserve to live. The Liu group was hit hard. Its stock price kept falling, and Liu's phone rang non-stop. At the peak of this storm, I went to the Liu group headquarters for the first time and walked into Willow's office. Willow looked exhausted. When she saw me, she forced a smile. Don't worry, as long as I'm here, this little storm is nothing. For some reason, her words warmed my heart. I nodded and handed her a phone. The next day, several audio recordings began circulating online. 1 million a month. You don't have to really treat me as your mother, just act the part in front of outsiders. We brought you back to arrange a marriage alliance. The partner is some used-up damaged goods. A tacky country bumpkin matched with trash, the perfect lid for the right pot. Public opinion ignited once again, this time sparking even greater debate. But now, the narrative was no longer one-sided against Willow and me. Some people still cursed me as ungrateful. Others began to think my actions were understandable. Some questioned whether the entire incident was even real. And many were simply spectators enjoying the drama. The public conversation started to split. Once that division appeared, the Liu family's public relations team finally had room to act. They steadily pushed their strategy, muddying the waters and slowly waiting for the storm to pass. Those recordings were, of course, real. I had recorded them myself. Remember the first day I reunited with my family, the moment when I verified the card? After checking the bank balance, I tapped my phone a few times. That was when I started the recording. At first, I only did it because I was worried the Wang family might go back on their word once they got what they wanted. I figured that if I had the recordings, at worst I could squeeze out a little compensation. I never expected that, by pure coincidence, those recordings would end up saving my life. Chapter 14. 3 months later, public opinion gradually died down. The Liu group stock price quietly climbed back to its previous level. As for the Wang family, they had already gone bankrupt and entered liquidation. My mother Rosie showed remarkable decisiveness. She auctioned off all the remaining family assets and took the Wang family members abroad to start over. One evening, I walked into the dining room and saw a table full of delicious food and a huge cake. I looked confused. Willow, wearing a simple home dress, gently swirled a glass of red wine and looked at me. Today is your birthday. I didn't organize a big celebration. Let's just eat and drink at home. I shrugged indifferently. I hadn't celebrated a birthday in years. This dinner, I could treat it as employee benefits. Maybe alcohol really does help people loosen up. Or maybe it simply gives cowards courage. As we drank more and more, somehow we ended up rolling onto the bed. That night, the room was filled with warmth and intimacy. The next morning, I looked at the ambiguous traces on the sheets. Slightly surprised, I glanced at Willow. She looked away, a faint blush still lingering on her face. By silent agreement, neither of us said anything. Life still had to go on. And for a tacky outsider who accidentally stepped into the world of the wealthy, my money-making life had only just begun.